Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. Monday, and I have a lot of sports card content this week. Today, I want to talk about one-of-ones and superfractors and employee benefits. Last night on Twitter, I saw a tweet by Adam Pybus of UK Soccer Cards. His Twitter handle is @soccer_cards. He had an Erling Haaland one-of-one superfractor, and on the back of it, it says that it says you have received a limited edition card produced exclusively for Fanatics employees. Happy holidays. And it's a 2022 Topps Superfractor. And some people, it's a kind of mixed reaction to this. Some people thought it was outrageous, unacceptable, crazy. Some people thought this is perfectly fine, and I'm on the perfectly fine wagon here. So Eric Whiteback, who is the collectibles guru, who takes people's images and just retweets them or actually posts them as his own to create his own content, also posted it, and he was very upset about it. And I would say it was about 60 to 70% of the respondents were perfectly fine with it. And he said he's very protective of the superfractor. And a Twitter user named Polaski said that it compared it to NFL player or employee, a team employee selling their Super Bowl ring, which seems like a pretty good comp for this type of situation. You would think that it would only be there for the players, for the coaches, things like that, but a lot of people get them. And you can go out and sell them. They can be in the free market at any point in time. There are also fake ones out there. And Eric Whiteback responded that he's just very protective of the Superfractor brand. I would ask why. Why are you protective of the Superfractors? I get it. I mean, Superfractors are supposed to be special. One-of-ones are supposed to be special. But they're not anymore, and they haven't been for a long time. And I actually just bought my very first one-of-one yesterday. I'm going to do a video on it. It'll at least be part of a video coming up as part of a buying experience I did over the weekend. But they're, and I've talked about the numbers of one-of-ones out there, and they are outrageously high. There are hundreds per player per year. Maybe not hundreds, but there are a lot of one-of-ones out there. So one-of-ones are overdone. They're not special anymore. And I'm glad that some people think so. I hope that doesn't change. I hope that a Fanatics employee getting an Erling Haaland card as a bonus doesn't ruin that for people. It shouldn't, because all the other things, if those haven't ruined it for you, then this shouldn't either. Somebody else another thing, Pulaski recommended maybe special parallels for employee lines of cards, which seems like a pretty decent substitute for this. So instead of using the Superfractor, employees would get a special employee fractor or something like that. I don't know. Somebody else also pointed out that Topps has been doing this since at least 2018. They had an example of a Shohei Ohtani red parallel of some sort. 2018 autographed. I think it was a one-of-one, but I'm not 100% sure now. I'll put it up here and you'll be able to see. And that was 5 years ago, 4 years before this Erling Haaland card. So Topps has been doing this a while, and it hasn't impacted anything. Maybe people got upset about it in 2018 or 19 when these come out, but there are inevitably only going to be a couple of big chase cards or cards that look like chase cards out of these employee ones. And it's just not going to be a big deal. If it's one-of-one, it's one-of-one. Is it the same exact photo? Probably not. I'm not familiar with soccer cards. I'm not familiar with Erling Haaland. I actually had to Google how to pronounce his name. That's how little I know about soccer. I knew who he was just because I see him on SportsCenter, but if it's any consolation, PSA will not grade these cards, or hasn't historically. I don't know if they would start, but these are common at conferences, the national, things like that, industry events, and PSA has steadfastly refused to grade these in the past. And I would argue too that this is a really cool employee benefit. Now, I wouldn't want it to take place of a bonus, a cash bonus. If my cash bonus percentage is, let's just randomly say 10% of my salary, I certainly wouldn't want to be getting a, I don't know, Trevor Story one-of-one Superfractor in place of a cash bonus or as a portion of a cash bonus. If I have a 10% cash bonus, I want to get the 10% as per my regular contract or my employee agreement or whatever, and then I want the Superfractor or whatever the card is on top of that. I think that's a very cool perk, employee benefit, whatever you want to call it, that you could get for working for a card company. Now, I get pullovers, company branded pullovers, which I also love, but they're also not one-of-one Superfractors. By the way, I don't know if these are randomly assigned to employees or if they're gifted out in a planned way, but you know where you stand. You know you're on a performance improvement plan, or you're just not one of the favorite employees when you're getting a Trevor Story or I don't know, some random like Brandon Lau, I guess, in 2022, 2023, one-of-one instead of the Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge or Mike Trout card that your teammate gets. I guess what I'm trying to say is low-numbered cards, one-of-ones, Superfractors, any sort of parallels just aren't that special anymore. And we've talked a lot about it. That doesn't mean you can't like it. We've talked a lot about it, how there are so many cards. Trevor Lawrence had like 1,300 different rookie cards, and a lot of those were one-of-ones. It doesn't mean you can't like it. It doesn't mean you can't say, I like Superfractors. I would love to have a Superfractor myself. But it's just, you can't, it's hard to say, oh, these were so special before. Maybe they are, maybe you think they are, but the facts don't really back that up. I want to know what you think. Put it in comments. Are Superfractor special? Are one-of-one special? Are parallel special? Yeah, I'm really curious to know that. I have a very busy week, but I am going to be doing videos most days this week, and I still plan on getting out an attic find Friday of some sort. It'll probably be Friday, and it's just going to be a bunch of failed attic finds, things that I thought would be great as stories, as videos, that just didn't pan out. But I also have a bunch of really fun stuff this week. So if you're new here, click that subscribe button. I really appreciate it and hope you guys have a great week.